Man.
Okay, everybody. My name is Brigita Amelia Putri. I'm with Trisha Ivana Shalom and Azara Desya Priani. We will present about queer theory today. We are from group 7 for the introduction. Will be explained by Trisha. For Trisha, time is yours.
Thank you, Brigitta. So, the first point will be explained by me. First is the sexual turn. Traditional literary criticism largely ignore non-heterosexual relationship. Heterosexuality was historically considered the norm, while homosexuality was marginalized, criminalized, or treated as medical disorder. This exclusion led to the emergence of gay and lesbian studies in the 1970s, which sought to uncover and analyze LGBTQ+ representation in literature and culture. Over time, queer theory developed as a more radical approach, questioning the very categories of gay and straight as rigid identities. Second is Michel Foucault and the Discourses of Sexuality. Foucault's history of sexuality argues that sexuality is socially constructed and regulated by power through institutions such as medicine, law, and religion. He analyzed how homosexuality was labeled as deviant through historical discourses. He examined how Foucault shows that homosexuality was not always seen as identity before the 19th century. Same-sex acts were seen as behaviors rather than markers of person identity. The shift towards seeing homosexuality was an inherent identity was a part of broader system of social controls. The third point is the social construction of sexuality. Sexuality is shaped by historical and social contexts rather than being purely biological. Jeffrey Wicks highlights that different cultures construct different norms regarding homosexuality. For example, ancient Greece accepted certain form of same-sex relationships, while Victorian-era Europe suppressed and criminalized them. This challenged the idea that heterosexuality is natural and instead show it is a social enforced norm as heteronormativity. The next will be explained by
Okay,
Nikita.
I will take turn for this point. Gender identity and performativity. This theory is from Judith Butler. Butler concept of gender performativity argues that gender is not an inherent identity but a performance. People do gender through repeat behaviors, speech, clothing, and interaction within a cultural frameworks. Gender norms are reinforced through repetition, making them seem natural, but they are actually constructed. Queer theory uses this idea to challenge fixed categories of gender and sexuality, showing that they can be fluid and change over time. Okay, we move to the next slide. uh, queer subcultures. Um, it is marginalized sexual identities have created their own cultural space, such as drag, performance, camp aesthetics, and cross-dressing. Drag culture, for example, highlights the per- performative nature of gender by exaggerating femininity and masculinity. Camp, which is a style of exaggerate, theoretical, and ironic expression, is used as a form of resistance and humor in queer communities. This subculture exposed the artificiality of genders and challenge mainstream norms. Um, we move to the next slide, please. Lesbian feminism and radical lesbians. Feminism have sometimes focused more on gender operation while ignoring lesbian identities. Adrienne Rich introduced the idea of compulsory heterosexuality, arguing that women are socially pressured into heterosexual relationships. The Radical Lesbian Manifesto in 1971 criticized how mainstream feminism often overlook lesbian issues. Queer theory builds on these critics uh, to explore how sexuality intersect with gender in complex ways. Okay, the next slide will be explained by Azara. For Azara, time is yours.
Okay, thanks. I will talk about race and sexuality. The and in the intersectionally in queer studies address how race affects queer identities and a Black, Asian, and others minority queer identities often experience additional marginalism. And the many early queer theories focus mainly on white Western experience, ignoring how race affected sexual identities. Also, the queer theory has expanded it include intersectionally, a term coined by Kimberly tells how to analyze how race, gender, and sexuality interact. And for example, Black and Latinx LGBTQ communities have unique experience of discrimination and cultural expectation. Next slide. The queer diaspora and globalization. The queer identities are not just shaped by national culture, but also by globalization and migration. And LGBTQ individuals often face different struggles depending on their country of origin, legal system, and cultural expectation. And many queer people migrated to escape persecution, but immigration law often reinforce heteronormativity. Like example, same-sex couple struggling to for legal recognition. And the concept, the queer of diaspora examines how queerness experienced across different global contexts. And next slide. And political and the goals queer of theory. The challenge heteronormativity and the assumption of fixed sexual identities. And the fight for social justice, legal rights, and visibility of LGBTQ communities. Used to make it like parody, transgression, and activism of disrupt traditional norms. And also, the queer theory to challenge to heteronormativity, the assumption the assumption that heterosexuality is not normal sexuality, and it fixed sexuality identities such as gay or straight, arguing that they are fluid sociality constructed. And active victims is central to queer theory, using strategies like parody, performance, and protest to disrupt traditional norms. And the queer theories advocate for legal rights, social justice, and great visibility for LGBTQ individuals. And that's all for me. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Azara. Let's move to the next PPT. We will be explain what we have discussed before. This is analysis of representation queer in T2. In their song All the Things She Said, we choose this song because it's quite popular, and uh the song represents same-sex relationship. Okay, the first slide will be present by Trisha. For Trisha, time is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Brigitta. So this is the song. Tell me, what do you see? Yes, I lost my mind. Okay, that's the lyric from the tattoo, the most popular. The title is All the Things She Said. So this is the tattoo from the left. Her name is Julia Volkova, and the right is Lena Katina. So this is the band name Tattoo from Russian phrase that translated to this girl loves that girl. They are a Russian pop duo debuted in 1999. All the Things He Said in 2002 is translated and reworked version of Ya Sosla Esuma. So what is the queer theory? Queer theory is critical framework that challenge traditional understanding of gender and sexuality. It's rejecting heteronormativity. It's critique the assumption that heterosexuality is the only normal orientation. Next is fluidity and identity. Gender and sexuality are not rigid categories. They can evolve and change over time. So the representation of queerness in the song. First is expression of confusion and desire. The lyrics is, "This is not enough, I'm losing my mind." It describes how the inner of someone who feels a love that is considered unusual. The second is theme of representation of and social judgment. The song displays the feeling of someone who feel they cannot love freely because of societal pressure. The lyrics is, they say, "It's my fault, but I want her so much. The next will be explained by Azara.
Thanks for Trisha. And I will explain about music video analysis. The first one, we can see the picture. The young woman trapped behind the fence, symboling societal constraints. And the fence represents the barrier faced by LGBTQ individuals, highlight the emotional and social rejection on same-sex relationship is a judgmental society. And also, also the behind fence can be interpreted as metaphor for social restriction and prejudices faced by those in the same-sex relationship. I'm sorry. The fence represents the barrier that LGBTQ individuals encounter when expressing their love or identity openly. A word often involves heteronormative expectation. The women are visual, isolated, physical, and restricted. It's a highlight to emotional social struggle of being the forbidden or marginalized of relationship. And next slide, please. And to second peak, we can see it is rain and darkness extends themes of isolation and struggle. The rain and dark setting emphasize the feeling of repression as sorrow, symboling the internal external conflict faced by the woman care forbidden love. And the recurring use of the rain dim light talk to the video creates a somber, mechanic and atmosphere that amphibious and teaching emotional conflict and alienation. The rain symbolizes the emotional turmoil the woman experienced, reflecting feelings of repression, confusion, and sorrow. They grapple with their desire in the judgmental society. The darkness also adds a sense of isolation, underscoring the idea that their love is something that must be hidden and suppressed. Further, reinforcing the struggle between desire societal combination. Next slide. As we can see here, the viewer gaze are the authentic or performing for a male gaze. But the video raises question about whether a woman expressing genuine love or sibling performing for male audience, critiquing how queer identities are often sensationalized and commodified in mainstream in media. And this is raise important question about nature queer representation in media. A woman expressing authentic love is their relationship being represented as a spectacle for viewer, and particularly heterosexual male audience. At this station, speak broader conversation about the commodification of lesbian identity and exploitation queer relationship for mainstream composition. And by blurring this line, TATU critiques how queer love is often sensationalized of misrepresented, while it can be interpreted to women interaction if these different ways to audience. And the next slide will explain will by Brigitta. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Azara. I will explain this slide, subverting heteronormativity. Okay. The first one, public display of same-sex desire in mainstream media. TATUS, I'm sorry, tattoos, all the things you say, was one of the earliest pop songs to openly showcase a same-sex relationship in mainstream music video. At the same time, when LGBTQ representation in popular media was minimal, the duo public display of same-sex desire was groundbreaking. The video, featuring two young women engaging in intimate romantic action, challenged the conventional heteronormative standards of romantic expression in pop culture. By making same-sex attraction in the central narrative, Tattoo brought queer love to a broad global audience, making it a visible, uh, I'm sorry, making it visible and undeniable part of mainstream media. Pop music, traditionally centered around heterosexual relationship, follows a narrative of man-woman romance that often reinforce gender roles and expectation. Taste to song and video disrupted by introducing a love story that defies these norms. The lyrical content of all the things she said and its accompanying visual break away from the usual portrayal of heteronormative romance. Instead of adhering to conventional gender, it represents love between two women, questioning and challenging the rigid narrative structure typically present in popular music. This does this disruption reflects the dual push against the boundaries of mainstream culture, signaling a new possibility for queer representation in pop. While Tattoo's provocative portrayal of same-sex love sparked considerable controversy, it was also instrumental in making LGBTQ themes visible to a wider audience. By boldly depicting queer attraction, the video forced viewers to comfort the reality of same-sex love, even though it was seen by some as a controversial or shocking act. This visibility creates space for LGBTQ conversation, offering a platform for queer individuals to feel seen and heard. Although some critics accuse Tattoo of exploiting queer identities for commercial gain, the duo undeniably sparked essential dialogues about LGBTQ representation in the media, helping to pave the way for future artists to engage with similar themes. Okay, we move to the next slide. In conclusion, the song expresses how identity is not fixed but also influenced by external and internal factors. Also, the flow of music can be easily be carried by LGBTQ. I think this is the end of our presentation today. We are sorry for any mistakes. I think that's all. Thank you for your understanding.